I have been doing quite a few, sharing some of the research findings with yourselves in terms of director perceptivities. In 2009, I think it's not, some of you must have heard me talking about the image problem of procurement, where as soon as you mention that you're a procurement professional, they think you're a thief. Because you like to take bribes. And some of these, unfortunately, was created by ourselves. And for me, I've always maintained that it's not the profession that is corrupt, it's the system. It's very corruptive. And most of the challenges that you face are not caused by yourselves. It comes from other departments, but you get a blame because you are forced to implement wrong contracts. Yesterday, I was just listening to ETV, and I heard that the Swanee municipality was going to pay 843 million for some meters, which for me was rather unfortunate. 843 is a lot of money. Just imagine how many houses, RTP houses that 843 can build, but it's being wasted. And then I asked myself, was there any procurement professional involved in the negotiations of this? You know, and in most cases, I don't think so. You know, the deal was done, and then it was planted on the procurement professional to obviously implement. And then they will start blaming the professional, you know, that it is corrupt. You know, and I read Rijijima delisting and the problems they had with the Home Office, over 4 billion. There's now in Nkuruman, a lot of demonstrations for water. You see in Cape Town, they are suing the construction industry for price fixing. They want to get 400 million. You know, all these things, they only look to procurement because of this so-called tendering thing that my colleagues are involved in. But the question is, were you really part of the negotiation? And it's interesting, the data shows across the continent and also worldwide that still, you guys are not involved. But they expect you to implement it, and then they blame you. And if collectively we don't work together, it's not going to change. You know, I believe through SIPs, what has been happening now, there has to be a license to practice. You know, if that happens, then it makes it easier for those that are real corrupt to be kicked out, and also you have pride in what you do. And this is what I'm trying to share with you, that you are very powerful. Seize the opportunity, and it will come out as we go through the presentation. Now, in terms of today's presentation, I'm going to spend the first half to talk to you about negotiations, agreement, and contracts. They are three different concepts. I know my learned lawyer friends would say the agreements and contracts are the same, but no. The people that matter, the decision makers are saying they are not the same, and the curriculum needs to change for that matter. That is why these days there's a lot of legal cases. We are focusing too much on the contracts rather than on agreements. And the CEOs have realized that, because it's now beginning to also cost them money. The parties to a contract, they all have deep pockets to fight. So in the end, nobody wins. And when it comes to government, you spend a lot of money paying lawyers to try and settle a case. In most cases, you settle out of court after 3 or 4 years. There's a case in Cape Town which has been going for 8 years. It's to do with the defense contract. Now they decided to settle. Now who is paying the lawyers? It's you and I. We are all paying. And it's because they focus more on the contract as opposed to the agreement. What went wrong with the defense contract was the specificities were not highlighted enough. They were supposed to create jobs. Did they really create jobs? That multi-billion dollar contracts, that obviously keeps coming back to haunt government.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.